to 108 Gate. We are doing the Divine Feminine reading first, and hope you are well. The vibe is getting organised, getting things sorted, getting things moving, getting things in a line or aligned, getting the ducks in a row. Interesting vibe. Right, let's go. Absence. So straight off, it feels as though there are big holes. So what I mean by that is there could be like that you've got a plan, but there's a hole in the plan. There's an intention, but there's kind of like, but I don't know how that's going to happen. I don't know if that can happen. And this is coming up with energy of, if you can't see it, it doesn't mean it's not happening. It's going beyond what you can see visually and going more so into your senses, going more so into what can I feel, what can I hear, what can I sense, what can I what is my intuition and my instinct saying. So what is not there, it doesn't mean it's not there actually. It's just that you physically maybe relying on the physical tangible things rather than sensory things. So from there we move along to fortitude. Be brave and dig deep. So because some things aren't going to be visible to the eye, your 3D eye should I say, there's part of faith and trust required, so you can actually go into certain spaces without relying on the tangible thing. Now this is where I was listening to something yesterday, a really respected energy worker, and he was talking about the same thing that I was saying a while back, that if you are the kind of person, this is not a criticism, it is not a criticism. If you are that kind of person that does spells and starts locking things into whatever, and you start having talismans and stuff like that. So like I said, we could do this reading with or without the tarot cards. I don't have to have the tarot cards to read the energy. It's actually better when don't read the energy and just go for the instinct. But for the purpose of this medium and the channel at this point of its where we're going with it, the tarot cards are a supplement. They're kind of enhancing your experience, because there's something for you to visually see. It's something for you to kind of have taken the message through. It can easily just as well be done as a podcast. It could be done as just an audio. And I have worked with some of you who you know that basically it doesn't have to be with cards. It could be just on a call or a chat. It could be that we have some pretty patterns here and I just talk about what's coming up with the astrology and the energies that are going on. But I use these as an aid for the experience. So is this thing again about all those things that have been locked in and locked down and attached to certain stones, certain crystals, or whatever. Now this is not saying that the crystals and the stones don't hold energies but that are beneficial to us. It's how we utilize them and how we perceive them. So it's a matter of like disconnecting from relying on them. It's disconnecting from holding them fixed in a certain way, or fixing ourselves to it, or fixing them to something, to a meaning or whatever else. It's about just being with it, allowing it to be like coexisting. Right, so fortitude, be brave and dig deep, feels like it's going into have faith in things and have trust that not everything can be seen with the physical eye. Just because it's not there with the physical eye doesn't mean it's not there, doesn't mean it's not being worked on, doesn't mean it's not possible. It doesn't mean that it's a threat anymore. Things like that. So just kind of rejigging senses. Health. Focus on all parts to make the whole. So those that you can see, those things you can't see, they are in harmony with each other at some point. And when they're not in harmony, that's where the The trigger points are coming up. That's where the emotions, like you might feel upset about something, but you don't quite know what you feel upset about. You may feel annoyed, or just feel like I'm feeling a bit down or something like that, and you don't quite know, you can't put your finger on it, what it is. Something is bubbling in the unconscious, something is bubbling in the consciousness, but the consciousness hasn't quite grasped the concept yet. So what I was saying about the talisman and things like that is a lot of people who do lock things in with spells, with this and that and the other, not criticising, it's just that you might find that you're hooked into things more so you may have to go a bit deeper with your work to be able to come out, if that makes sense. Anyway, right, let's go, keep going. The light might go off, I don't know. Right, it's clarity coming in, definite shape coming up for the cards, and virility. Shake it up a little, you've got this, like I was just saying. So let's get the feminine cards. Clarity coming in as to where you've got to shake it up. Can't keep going in the same way of doing things. It may have worked in the 1500s or the 1400s or 1200s because there was less people possibly working from that higher frequency. There were less people kind of aware of it in the way that people are now. But the I say it frequently enough to know that some people get a bit annoyed at this, but you've got to be careful of the commercialisation of spirituality. It really can, it just, it's not ethical, let's just put it that way. For you to step forward where you need to step forward to, there needs to be understanding that partly intuition and trust and faith needs to come in, partly a detachment from talisman, a detachment from actual objects, detachment from certain rituals, certain spells. There needs to be more of a flow. There needs to be, if any instant you need to do something, you can do it. So that's why I always said there's certain things that you can do without requiring an item, without requiring any thing. So, like, for example, if you find, this is just an example, excuse me, there's a lot of energy going through. When certain people have worked with, when I've worked with certain people, or myself even, when you need that instant grounding, but you can't run to a field and put your feet on the ground and things like that. It's like, it's just not practical. It's not going to be helpful to you. In like, if your only way of you grounding is to go to a field or go to some grass and take your shoes off and do whatever, and that's the only way you're going to ground, that's just leading you in the wrong direction. So there's certain things, like if you just wiggle your toes and you just kind of rub your hands together, that brings you back to your body, your senses, or have there's lots and lots of different things to do. But you're literally, you could be in a meeting and you're not feeling grounded, or you're not feeling present as you want to, so you're just like, right, wiggle your toes a bit, get your toes, you're back straight into your body. It needs to be quick, sharp and easy, because there's certain things coming up right now. It's not going to give you time to take your shoes off and go running into a field. It's not going to give you time to be hugging a tree. Besides the fact that, does the tree want you to hug it anyway? So, the Emperor coming in, get your awareness around this, refine it, fine tune it. How are you going to be? It's not about the perceiving self as a particular kind of practitioner. It's not going into that woo-woo kind of space, because we've said it before, I've said it before, like the 70s, 60s, whatever, you had a lot of that woo-woo stuff, and it is doing its circuits again. It's defining the difference between the true spiritual stuff and then the woo-woo stuff, the real woo-woo stuff. We just don't need it. You don't need 100 million things to like actually get you into that space. If anything, it might clutter things up, because then you've got to keep shifting it, because otherwise you're just creating kind of energy knots, and you're creating energy balls that you need to keep moving, you need to keep shifting. That's because, like, with the feng shui and stuff like that. it needs, like, as you in your mind are perpetually improving, perpetually evolving, your environment needs to be doing that too. Right. Lecture over. High Priestess. Higher perspective. I'm not even going to go any more into that. I've just said it. I've repeated it. Clarity around that. Clarity. Like, so I know people get pissed off with me with this. I know it for sure. And they take it offensively. I'm not saying that you shouldn't be doing spells. You shouldn't be doing this. You shouldn't be doing that. You can do what you want. I'm saying, I'm hearing and I'm feeling and I'm sensing, and even the cards saying it right now, that less and less reliance on tangible things. More so, you're going to have a speedier way of working with energy. You're going to have a more effective and efficient and accurate way of working with energy if you're not locking things into spells and stuff. Kind of like when people have intentions to do something, I'm going to do it then. New year, I'll do this, that, and the other. Why not just start it now? Why wait until then? We're going to get a bit of tattoo deck just to bring a bit more roundness to this. Sorry. Queen of Wands, activate now. Just do it. Get on with it and do it. Queen of Wands, right there. Not being fluffy, not being superficial, not being reliant on anything. You just literally get a wand and go. Get a wand and do. Get a wand and whatever. And it's not that the wand is actually a wand. It doesn't have to be an actual wand. It's just literally that motion within self, that ability to just get things moving in self. And then you've got Four of Wands here, creating that foundation, creating that space from which you can build greater things on, because there's fluidity there. So this does feel like it's a pretty full-on reading. Some people aren't going to like it. If you don't like it, where is it you don't like it? If you are the kind of person that does spells and this and that and the other, that's for you to question it. Why do you get annoyed? Why do you get pissed off? And if it is useful information, are you not willing to receive it? If it's not useful information, let it go. So with that, peace and love.